start it when you're ready.
Yeah, started.
Started, brilliant. So, come in close if you want, you won't be in it, don't worry. This is about the mask fitting, some measuring. So all of you are going to get issued with a Corpro mask. So this is from the Welsh Ambulance Service. This is going to be part of your PPE. We will go through how to wear it and everything properly, but we need to make sure it's the right size for you. Essentially, there are 3 different size masks, and they've got the sizes on the side. So we've got a small and a medium here. I haven't got a large one here, but there is a large as well. These are measured from the bridge of the nose down to the point of the chin. So we've got to measure you from here to here to see what size you are. So we've got some calipers here to help you measure, and this is what you're going to do on each other, and you're basically measuring that distance. You can read it off of the manual side there. Because we're using this on each other, as soon as you have used it, afterwards, you're going to clean it off. Okay, so because it's been in contact, it all gets cleaned off, and then that gets left to dry naturally. Okay, so don't force dry it. Your clinical waste then goes into that bin there. So whenever we've touched it, you can then use your hand sanitizer as well to clean your hands. So we just go through that procedure so you can help each other do that. When you've got your measurement, it relates to this scale here, and essentially you're looking for the green. So if your measurement between there and there is 90, or between 90 and 115, essentially you're a small. If you measure it and you're between 115 and 125, you're a medium. If you are between 125 and 145, you're a large. I'm going to be honest, most people are either a small or a medium, hence why we haven't got the large masks here at the moment. Okay, most people are. If you find you're smaller than the 90 and that is going to be too big, there are other alternatives as well. But we're looking for this as our first port of call. Is that all right? Yeah? Okay. If you then measure and you're like, oh, I'm dead on 115, and that's right between the small and the medium, and if we look at those two, there is quite a bit of difference on it. If you want to, because you're not sure, especially like Bex or Vass with your glasses, you might be right. I'm going to offer this up to see how well it fits. Obviously, it's got the holes in so you won't have any breathing issues. You can offer it up and then pop your glasses back to see how it fits. But once again, if you use one of these and you've offered it up near your face, everything gets cleaned inside and out. So we wipe everything down, the whole lot gets cleaned, and then we leave that to dry naturally. Okay, so it is worth kind of going through that. Where you're going to get to in the end is when we come in to do this, I'll go through this again with you, but you will have your mask and you will have your filters. When you get these, you will have 3 sets of filters, and each set must be labelled up, because when you use these, you'll be using these for like aerosol generated procedures. So if you go into an Ebola job or maybe COVID where there's aerosol generated procedures, this is when you put it on. And we can clean the outside of these, but we can't clean the actual filter. But we know things like COVID, you know, like the COVID kind of molecules that are floating, they're not really as big as that, okay? So they're just in the air floating around. They get trapped in there and they don't come through. That's what the filtering does. But they will die off within 72 hours. So what we'll end up doing is putting them in a bag, leaving them for 72 hours, and then we put another set on and they will just fit onto your mask. When it comes for the actual testing, so on the day of the testing, which is in October, before you go out on your first placement, we will ask you to come in clean shaven, makeup free, jewellery free, as you will be when you go on placement. Okay? And the reason for that is we need a good seal around the mask, as you will on placement. Yeah. The first thing we do is a sensitivity test. We put a kind of a hood over your head with a window in it and a little hole. We squirt some solution in there, which is a similar size particle to things like COVID and that, and it's either a very bitter or a very sweet, and we need to know that you're sensitive to it. You then have to rinse your mouth. So bringing a bottle of water in with you to rinse out your mouth is a really good idea. And also you're going to have to wash your face, because if there's any of that chemical stuck to you, it then would be on the inside of the mask. So we ask you then to wash your face. So you may have your own skin wipes that you like to use. Maybe you've got sensitive skin, whatever it be. Bring them with you. Clean your skin around that area where the mask fits. We then get you to wear the mask, and I'll show you that now. You put the hood back on, we squirt the solution in again, but this time 100 times stronger, and we get you to do exercises whilst in the hood. Things like turning your head, nodding your head, talking, things like that, to see whether there's any leak. If you can taste it at any time, it's got through the gap. Okay, if you can't taste it at the end of 7 minutes, it's good for you as long as you wear it in exactly the same way on when you're out operationally. So when eventually you get this, again, we go through everything with you again. They just click together, so that goes around the back of your neck. So you just click that on there. This gets offered up, so it goes under the chin and onto the nose, and you won't be able to hear me as well as soon as I put it on. You'll also have a visor on as well. So that goes on, that goes onto the bridge. We can then adjust the straps to make it tighter, get it right. I can now breathe through this. All of my breathing is going through the filters. And to test that and prove it, I'm going to block the filters and breathe in. So I'll block them. There is a perfect seal around there as I've done that. So I'm going to take this off now. So you can hear me a bit better. So I'm just going to pop that to one side, so that's my one. So that's the one I actually take operationally with me, but that will be the kind of test you'll have to do. With a perfect seal like that, I know it's going to be fine, but I still have to do it. Is that all right? Any questions on that? So all you've got to do today is the measuring. As soon as you've done your measuring, you know what it is. You can offer these up if you want to, okay? But I need to know what size so I can order you one. Happy? Right, I'll leave you to do that, or you can switch that off now.